This is working on this axis. This is our vertical axis with the hoop spinning this way, and we started off just on the ground, just doing this. If you have an LED hoop, that's the only move you need. Wants to see, you can just do that for like 3.5 minutes. People will be pretty happy. So what we looked at, okay, as this edge comes past our knees, it opens up this huge gap, and we looked at just sticking our right leg in. That puts me in position to do an escalator. We talked about escalators. Left hand goes up, inside edge hits your hip, hands come together, push out. So as it spins, it goes past, I put my leg in, an escalator. I can also put my opposite leg in, so it spins same time and it goes past. Step my leg in, and I'm in position to wedgie my hoop. Yeah, and obviously you want to do all of that without your hand on it, just watching the hoop's rotation. And then we did the same thing, but we talked about taking it up a little bit, so same little octopus grip. We're using our thumb to push, and we're lifting our hand up out of the way. So we go here, lift. You can catch with the opposite hand, you can catch with the same hand, tuck, tuck. You can try and get your hand underneath it. Try and get your hand. How long have you guys got? So this is the cat with laser bit, where you're just kind of doing this when what you're trying to do is get your hand on the ball. I can't do it today. I did it earlier, you saw it. So yeah, just trying to get your hand underneath and let it spin out, and then put your hand underneath it to catch it. Then we did one-handed helicopters. Yeah, so we talked about this rotation. It's not a palm spin. I'm going over the back of my fingers, and I'm catching my hoop, and it's quite difficult to do staying still. So we did it with a little bit of momentum, and I used that momentum of moving my arm to initiate the turn. So I start here, I initiate, and I catch 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It actually becomes a lot bigger than that. To start with, it's nice to do it nice and logically, here, here, and then once you get it, it becomes bigger, and it pulls on. And it really is a full extension. Yeah, I'm really feeling like the hoop is dragging me out, and I'm using my arm to initiate the momentum, and that makes it nice and smooth. We then went on to our escalators, so we did folding into our back. This outside edge comes towards my opposite ankle, and I lift this leg to give it something to roll on. And we can combine that with the turn. So I turn like I'm doing a helicopter, push with the back of my hand, and it comes down, it rolls down. Go here, attack, and you can do it normally. Turn. And then we combine that with a throw. So we just went here, we dropped, lifted straight up. I don't want the hoop to come too close to my body, because then I'll stick my arm in. I go here, up, boom, bitch slap the hoop. With a nice smile, like you're a good person. Everyone's happy. And then we combined it again with this twisty throw. So twisty throw goes up, I look for the edge, and I style it out. Yeah, it doesn't always work, but it's about just throwing it and sticking an arm in and seeing what's happening a lot of the time. Yeah, I never get bored playing with my hoop, because I'm just like, what if I just hit it there? What if I stick my head in? See what happens. Yeah, and then you'll find new stuff yourself. So we did those combinations, and then we did rotating thing. Oh, left hand. Yes, I have a left hand. So same idea with the left hand. And here, turn forwards, let it rotate down, throw, push, rotate down, throw, twisty thing with the left hand. Yeah, that one. And then we did this palm spin. Yeah? So our hand is at 6 o'clock. So I've got that real axis there, and I'm using my index finger and my thumb to push and open my hand just to get that rotation to start with. Then I'm dropping the outside edge onto your forearm.
I have Jules here.
Oh my god, someone's close up. So go here, spin, and get tired. Not doing it right. Spoon catch. So we're trying to get it to just come a little bit up our arm and then go back down. Then we use gravity, so it comes all the way up, and we come across our body. Yeah, so I'm using gravity here. It's not like a chest roll. A lot of the times when we chest roll, we keep our hand low, stop the hoop, and use the momentum for it to travel up. In this case, we actually need to use gravity, so we need our hand up a little bit to get that rotation. Come across. Then we did neck spins, so I want to come here, stop. I want to be right in the middle. I'm doing like a little tap with my hand. So I go here, stop, tap, catch. You can wait, see if I can get a couple of rotations. You can reverse it back the opposite way. You can try turning. That's exciting. Sometimes if you offset it a little bit, it'll roll down your body into the escalator. You can go roll, push, see what happens. There's a lot of different ways in and out of these things. And you should really, what I find at these festivals is it's really good to take your notes or take your thing and try like one move with the moves that you already have. Like try and connect it with something that you already do, because the danger is that you learn it all in isolation and you never do them because they don't fit in with what you already have. So I think it's really good when you're learning. If I had longer workshops, I would integrate it, but they're only an hour and 15 minutes, so it's really good to take like one move from the workshop and try and fit it into what you already have, because then that way you'll actually use it and practice and change what you do. Yay!
Can you do two-handed helicopter?
Oh, two-handed helicopter, yeah, I forgot about that. So two-handed helicopter, basically your one-handed helicopter is an anti-spin, so I am turning my hoop this way, but I am spinning the opposite way. So I need to make sure if I'm going to do it with two hands that they're spinning in opposite directions so that I'm turning the same direction. I'm confused. So they're turning the same direction so that when I turn, they're both anti-spinning. So if I do this, they're turning in opposite directions. So I want to make sure that this one is going the same direction as this one. So then when I turn, I get this spin. Yay!
Yay!
It's like, well, girly, and I'm not very girly. It's nice. Okay, so we're gonna, I'm gonna go and do things for another hour and a half, and then I'm back here at 5:30, and I'm doing integrating balance. So it's balance and rolls, basically.